It's time for an evening snippet, a little snippet video here. As I was walking outside here for this evening chill with the last of my coffee here, this thought occurred to me. It just crossed my mind. It was this saying, good things come to those who wait. I was thinking about all the good things in my life, all the things I'm grateful for. And I thought of the term good things, and I thought of this song I heard. Can't remember who sings it. It's just on some reggae album or something, and it's good things come to those who wait. And I started thinking about that saying, and I was like, but they don't. As a passive approach, if one takes a passive approach and doesn't get proactive, you may have good things happen to you, but when they do, you may think, oh, well, this is good, I was patient. But on the other hand, how many more good things could happen to us if we're a little more proactive about life? I mean, I'm as guilty as anyone else. Guilty of not being as proactive as I could be. But I know there's a lot of people out there who have extreme motivation to really get stuff done. And those are the ones who, for example, if you want to start from nothing and make a lot of money, you either have to get lucky with an invention or something, or you got to bust your ass. And honestly, you'll never get rich busting your ass. You'll get rich being smart, but in other words, working smarter, not working harder. But I think the idea of good things coming to those who wait is merely a reflection of times in the past when people had to be satisfied with what they had, and peasants would be peasants, and there was no way around it. People have lived in that. Good things come to those who wait could be compared to the meek shall inherit the earth, or the idea that you could even tie it to patience. But anyway, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, I guess. But I know, from experience, unless I even it doesn't take that much to get something done, but it could be even making a phone call or just stepping outside to, start. Whatever it might be. I mean, you might have to get something done. You might have to deal with somebody or call somebody or something in order to get the ball rolling so good things can actually happen. So we can set the ball rolling with very little effort, and a lot of good things can become of that. For example, like the mechanic now that's working on my car, I'm getting, a really good deal, and it started by finally just, calling him and having him start on one car, and now all these other good things are getting done too. In the meantime, of course, many other good things are happening, Bad things happen too, but I just don't latch onto it, For example, like all the weed I lost in my crop, it was like a pound of good bud turned into seed weed, and I said, oh well, I threw it aside, and it just became, scrap. It's not a big deal. Because it is what it is, and that's just another small thing among many bigger things I've got, I've got a couple cavities I have to have filled, and I have no insurance, and, there's various little things going on in life that may be negative, but I don't think about them or dwell on them, because in another way of looking at it, rather than saying good things come to those who wait, or saying I want to work towards something good, by merely changing our perspective, we can find good in what we previously thought was bad. And that may be the most important thing, because often we are stuck with the cards we're dealt, and no matter how hard we work, it's hard to get out of that rut. So if we step back, look at what we really have, we can be grateful for it. when I dropped my son off from school and I was driving home, I had one of those moments this morning where I was looking around at all the garbage cans on the side of the road and how they're all lined up and everybody's got their recycling carts out, the big blue carts, And I thought about how perfect an orderly society has become to an extent, how much more perfect it could be, but and how much better it has been in certain times in the past, but depending on the area you live in. But the point, what's your problem, dog? No. No. I didn't think that would work. I guess they don't listen to me. Probably barking at my cats. Anyway, I guess I should just leave it at that since I'm getting cut off. I don't have very many places to do videos. It's kind of like, even when I come out at night and when it's supposed to be nice and quiet and it's late, and there's always some siren or barking dog to totally throw me off. Those are the cards we're dealt, right? Make the best of the situation. I guess that could go right along with what I'm talking about. It's just, it's funny because even, when I first started making videos, I would have turned the camera off and got frustrated and like, oh, I'll do it again later. But, I just kind of laugh it off as being one of those just, life just happens, It just happens like it happens. Anyway, enough rambling for the night, I guess. Making things happen is important. Waiting for things to happen is important, and being patient too. But also changing our perspective on what we see as good and bad. So, for example, a person that's waiting for that, big payoff or a bunch of cash or whatever, or I use cash as the example because it's what most people seem to want. But you're thinking that everything will be better rather than just saying, wait a minute, what do I have right now? And that's really changing the perspective. I guess to finish my story, I was driving home, I saw all the cans, and I thought about how I used to view that as a negative thing, as look at what society's become, look at us, we're all packed in like sardines, we got houses and garbage cans and all these cars driving, but I saw it completely different now. I saw it as people doing the best they can and living together in this society where most people are pretty good and most people mean well. And my perspective on people has changed so much back and forth over the years, but I have a strong, I guess, if I have faith in anything, it's in people. But it's not really faith, because I guess it's based in reason and rationality, that I've seen that most people are good and mean well. And so I guess it's not really a faith in people, it's just a learned experience that most people are good. And unfortunately, many people have an opposite experience, that people are bad, and people become very suspicious and withdrawn from society because of that, and I understand that. I just choose not to, and it's all in the way I choose to look at it, because I've seen it from both sides. I've seen the world as a scary place, I've seen the world as threatening, I've seen people as negative and people as selfish, and sometimes I still do, when I go out and I see people doing dumb stuff and treating each other badly, and it's frustrating, but overall, at least when I'm in my daily life, when I'm not directly affected by those things, I don't sit and dwell on them. I think of the world as a positive place, because although it may not be perfect, the time that I have by myself to consider the world, the more time I think of it as a positive place, the more positive of a place it becomes within my mind, and I act upon that. So, anyway, hope that made enough sense, and hope everyone has a good evening. Take care.